I'm gonna have to plug it in.
Recording in progress.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Tuesday, November 21st meeting of the St. Joseph County Board of Commissioners. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item of business is our accounts payable docket. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, if it's all right with our fellow commissioners, we're going to move the Citizen of the Month to the end.
We have several awards tonight. Part of our job, besides doing all the day-to-day things in government, which sometimes can get tedious and frustrating and so on, a night like this is very cool because we get to honor people who have done great things for our community, which happens a lot. Since we started this almost 3 years ago, we've had about 100 plus award that go out to youth, citizen, and business of the month. We also have employees of the month because we have always been of the mindset that we need to honor y'all who help make our job easier, and that's done through the county. We have State Senator Niskotsky here today, which is very unique for him to make the drive up. We have Mayor Mueller, who's also going to be here to talk about an award winner. So we'll begin with the youth of the month is Isabella Vermillion. If you and some family members want to step to the podium, don't worry, you don't have to speak. Right over there. And if any of y'all want to jump up and take photos, you can do that as we go along, which is cool. Isabella is here on behalf of something she did for people in the community. One of my real jobs is doing security, and I do security of the Washington Walnut Apartments, and over the summer, they had an instance where there was 147 shots fired, 3 people got hit in that neighborhood, but the young youths in the neighborhood need something to do. They had a basketball hoop, which was horrible, so I put a message out to people, and I got a message from her father that said Isabella would like to donate her basketball hoop to the people that live over on West Washington. Isabella and her family, known as Bella, and her friends know she's a bright, artistic, happy 12-year-old girl with a giving heart. That giving heart comes from Izzy's past experience. She's an adopted child, and in her short 12 years has attended 3 different schools. She did not attend the same school for a full year until she was in the 4th grade. Izzy always thinks of everyone else first and has a knack for trying to help people when she recognizes someone in need. She understands and receives help from numerous people every day and wants to give back whenever she can. Izzy is thankful and grateful to the St. Joe County Youth of the Month and wants everyone to know that she did give her basketball hoop away, not for any recognition. She just hopes kids use it now as much as she did when she played basketball. Would you like to say something, Izzy? Okay. Well, we thank you. Dad, would you like to chime in?
No, thank you very much. We
Okay,
appreciate
well,
it.
thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
In January every year, we have a big banquet that honors everybody at the Fireman's Hall, so it's a good time, so we will invite you to that. So if you want to come up here, we'll give you this plaque. That's good right there. That's fine. Thanks again. The next award goes out to the business of the month, which is the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters and Local 413. Maybe a month, 2 months ago, there was an instance where a young man had his bicycle stolen on Falcon Street, and he's the young man sitting over there in the wheelchair. And I got a hold of his mother and tried to find out more information of what happened and all that entailed. The young man has cerebral palsy, and that was his only mode of transportation when he got home from school or was able to travel the neighborhood, and somebody stole it. So we did a press conference explaining what it was, put a description out, put a reward out. I had several other people help and assist with that because I put up money too, but everybody else helped. And about 12:30 in the morning that night, somebody called and said they thought they saw it in a backyard in an alley on the west side. So I went over there. I'm not a policeman anymore, so I don't have to have a search warrant, but I was able to find the bike in the backyard. And we returned it to the young man. But the part of this that we're honoring, the people at the house did not have a wheelchair ramp, and they had to carry Auden in the house to leave, to go in. So I called, or Bobby Krasinski helped, and when we got a hold of Local 413, the Carpenters Union, and they came out and looked at the situation and said, if you get the wood, we will build it for you. So we called Big C Lumber, gave them the list. They said, we will deliver it on such and such a day. The Carpenters Union showed up in the rain and built the ramp for this young man. So that kind of commitment to the community from Big C to the Carpenters Union just came out, didn't say we don't want a nickel, we just want to help. So before we introduce 413, ma'am, you want to?
Hi, I'm Shannon Cater's mom.
You want to go up to the mic so everybody can hear you, or you can?
No, I'm fine right here. But I just really wanted to say that it's so nice to me to see that there's still so many good people in the world. Like the outpouring of people that contacted me about paving his bike and stuff was just, man, overwhelming, like tears just really honestly. And so you do still have a really good community here with me, all of the rad things that are happening in the world. And Derek reached out to me, and I had his bike jack working on something for 24 hours. So people really did care that that happened, and it was just amazing, really, really amazing. So I'm grateful. The wheelchair ramp has been a life changer, literally a life changer. So it's like a blessing all at once. So I just want to let everybody know that the community is still awesome. We've got a lot of good people, a lot of good people. And so I'm very, very thankful and grateful. You say thank you to everybody? Yeah.
Scott?
I just want to thank Bobby Kay and the commissioners for getting Carpenters Local 413 and our members involved in this project. It was a blessing to be able to help this young man out. On behalf of our 700 members here in South Bend, we look for projects like this that are meaningful and things that we can do for our community. And to the family, I hope it's a blessing to you, and I was real proud to be a part of that. And I'd like to say I got to see him trick-or-treating too, so he makes his rounds, but thanks for letting us be a part of this.
Come on up. Well, the next award, and forgive me if I tear up tonight like Mr. Lynch, but it's just a unique honor to honor somebody who's been, and no offense to Mayor Mueller, the mayor of Walnut Street for 40 years, even before that when he grew up. But before we start, Mr. Mish, if you will go give these to Marty. Tom Lynch was born October 26, 1938. He attended, it was Washington grade school and kindergarten and everything during that, graduated in 1956, the year I was born, Mr. Lynch. A Marine Corps veteran, married Marty in 1959, 2 phenomenal children. He has been a mentor, a coach, a father, grandfather. He has been a protector of people on Walnut Street for decades and decades. And tonight, we have several people who can all step up to the podium and talk about Mr. Lynch for about a minute apiece. But before those people come up, Mayor Mueller and State Senator Nisgotsky have something to read and give Tom Lynch. Mayor Mueller.
Hello.
Good evening, Commissioners. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to be here with honoring all of these great leaders in our community, and appreciate your efforts to recognize them each and every month. And of course, thank you to Commissioner Dieter for organizing all of this. You got matching shirts, so that shows a lot of coordination at the government level. I know sometimes they look at the county government and they see multiple commissioners, multiple council members, and things happening all over the place. But it shows that we can get ready for being on the same team and know that we have a good tradition here in the South Bend area of reaching across party lines and making sure that we're putting the community first. So we appreciate that and appreciate the ability to join you here tonight to recognize Tom Lynch. So you mentioned that he's known in some circles as the mayor of Walnut Street, and that's great. That's not any issue. I don't have any issue with that, and I don't think any mayor of South Bend would have an issue of that. We would love to have more informal mayors around the city to help make our community better. And that is truly why you're receiving the honor here tonight, because of the difference you've made in our community. You're celebrating a milestone this year, 40 years doing this piece. We know that you've also were Mr. Indiana, some time ago, perhaps before I was born.
1968.
But, yeah. I said sometime before I was born. But just appreciate everything you've done in the community. And so tonight, it's my honor to present you with the key to the city. It's the highest honor that I can bestow upon any resident. And it goes back to a tradition of when there were literal gates and walls around the city. And you only gave your keys to people you trusted, because otherwise others might conspire with your enemies across the land and let the wrong people in across the wall. So this is a sign of trust, that you are a trusted member of this community, and for all that you've done. And people do ask, there is no gate anymore. So what does the key open? Nothing literal, but it is symbolic. And I understand that you may also be receiving the key of the county. I don't know exactly the tradition there. I don't think there were too many walls around the entire county.
Key to Portage Manor, actually.
It's just oh, well. Boy, oh boy. So, maybe there was an outpost or a fort or something that needed a key. But nevertheless, it's my true honor to bestow upon you the key to South Bend.
Picture on the wall. Thank you, Mayor. State Senator David Nizgatsky, Washington guy.
Good evening, Commissioners. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Tom. This is some of the neat things we get to do from being in the Indiana State Legislature. It is truly my distinct honor and pleasure to present this to such a legend. I also have the honor of presenting it. Representative Maureen Bauer isn't able to be with us, but she is a co-sponsor on this proclamation, and I'd just like to take a minute to read it. So, be it hereby known and proclaimed. Whereas Tom Lynch, better known as Tom Lynch, was a key figure in slam wrestling, is often referred to as Mr. Indiana. And whereas Tom was first exposed to professional wrestling in the early 1950s by Doug Gilbert, Doug Lindsay, who would also become Tom's first trainer. Whereas Tom's first job was not as a wrestler, but as part of the ring setup crew for one of the biggest events of professional wrestling, hosting Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher in August of 1970. And whereas shortly after working as a ring crew, he would get his first break, Wilbur Snyder would ask him to fill in when a scheduled wrestler did not show up. His first match was against Big Ben Miller. This match set the stage for future booking coordinated by Dick the Bruiser, and whereas Tom's first booking coordinated by Dick the Bruiser was in Indianapolis and televised, his opponent was none other than Dick the Bruiser himself.
The world's most dangerous wrestler, by the way.
And it did not go well for Tom. And whereas Tom began working in Indianapolis and surrounding areas, with the biggest payout being an appearance at the Fairground Coliseum for $210. Most wrestling events were paid on commission, and Tom had to work a secondary job to supplement his income. And whereas Tom also wrestled in Michigan, alongside of the Sheik, often double booking his events with Dick the Bruiser, one event being at 1 p.m. and the second event starting at 8 p.m. And whereas Tom was born on October 26, 1938, to Teresa and Bernard Lynch. He graduated from Washington High School in South Bend in 1956, went on to serve in the United States Marine Corps, married Marty Zidelli in 1959, and they have two children, Lynn Kay and Lanny Correa. And, okay, sorry. And whereas on September 9th, in 1983, he opened Lynch's Gym in South Bend, Indiana, and direct that a copy of this proclamation, sponsored by myself, Senator David Nizgatsky, and the Honorable Maureen Bauer, be presented to Tom Lynch. And it is, again, my distinct pleasure to be able to present this to you, Tom. Mm-hmm.
No, you're not going to get me, no. Thanks, David. Now, if we could have any of the gym members who have been there to come up to the podium. Don't be shy, get up here and talk like you do in the gym for the most part of your years. The gym opened in 1983, and Tom and I were almost daily, we were figuring out how many pounds of weight have been lifted by, there's several people in there who have done contests, we all have done heavy lifting, everybody's won a lot of awards, and we came up with over 1 billion and I don't mean pounds, I mean tons. Over 1 billion tons have been lifted, and probably more, of all the contests, the heavy lifting that we used to do, that Frankie's going to start doing more of as you work out. But go ahead, we need your name and address. And
Rich Postay from 56809 Sundown Road, South Benton. Tom and I and his beautiful wife, Marty, go back to the very early 1950s. That tells you how old I am. Anyway, I just wanted to say I've known Tom for a long time. I remember when him and another fellow fireman named Dale Seuss were the two smallest kids in Washington High School. He was a freshman, and I remember very well at the time. But Tom's determination to get ahead was phenomenal. I can only say anything that he did, he went all out. He never held back, and he always gave back. And I just congratulate you, Tom. My heart's out to you.
thank you. Besides the firemen coming up, any other gym members? It's your microphone. Go on up. Mr. Fleming, this isn't the time to be shy. Come on up.
You want the name and address and all that?
Go ahead.
All right, Mike Lagadney, Southland, Indiana, 25175 Calmia Court, 46619. So I had the pleasure and the honor of training at Tom's Gym. And a lot of these guys you're gonna hear, we always used to have a saying, we didn't know what it was about that gym that just made you better, right? Was there something in the water, right? The drinking fountain, the smell of the Agent Orange, the picture of Gloria hanging in the back, we didn't really know, right? And then I come to this conclusion, it was none of that. It was Tom. And he just made people better, not just physically better, he made you a better person. So, Tom, thank you. I was scared to death of him when I was a kid. I grew up down the street from him. I was a big muscle-bound guy, tattoos all over back when they were normal. I was scared to death of Tom. And then in my early 20s, I started working at his gym, and I realized he was the nicest guy I had met.
Chuck Flanagan, I'm not going to give my complete address, but I live in Elkhart. I'm a retired South Bend police officer. I got on and Derek said, hey, you need to come to my gym. And in 1989, started there, and man, we've been through a lot, Tommy. It's just, it's been a crazy, crazy time we've gone through. Paulie, DeGooch, I mean, all the stuff we've been through. There's always one constant, and that was Tom, and that was Lynch's gym. No matter what was going on around our world, that was the place to go to. And Tom, I want to thank you from the deepest part of my heart. Thank you so much.
Troy Weitzel, 23180 Adams Road. It's Uncle Tom and Aunt Marty to me. Tom, you always you guided everyone, and you showed the boys that came into your gym it was okay to still be a man. So thank you.
I'm Jimmy the Snatch Master Matthews.
You won several
and I
awards
come from
across the
parts
country.
unknown.
Right.
I'll tell you something about Tom. There's
three kinds of lifting: bodybuilding, weightlifting, which is Olympic lifting, the snatch and the clean and jerk, and then there's powerlifting, bench press, deadlift, and squats. And if you did one of those, and you did one of those well, I mean, my hat's off to you. Tom did all three of those, wrestled, raised a family, and held a full-time job all at the same time. I don't know how you did it, Tom, but I mean, I think about that all the time. How you did all three and everything else that you did, and be great at all three is just, it's amazing to me. I want to thank you for the countless hours you spent with me. The Lynch's Gym, excuse me, is known as the Corner of Champions. Perfect name, absolutely perfect name. In the 40 years, everybody that came to that front door left a better man. There sits the true champion right there.
Anyone else in the crowd here? Because I know we have some people online. Okay. We'll go to first, does Nolan Dieter have his hand up?
Can you guys hear me?
That's him. Go ahead.
That's me. Well, I probably first started,
Yeah, it's him. Remember him, Nolan?
Tom knows me. Started out probably earlier than this, but probably 2006 first time I started at the Corner of Champions, and throughout my youth and growing up, Tom was one of the most influential people in my life, not just in weightlifting, but just in the conversations we would have after lifts. And definitely my heart goes out to Tom, and there's not a more deserving person of this award than Mr. Tom Lynch.
Thank you, buddy. I think next, that's right. Next would be Garrick, all the boys are on here, Garrick Dieter. I think he's got 3 granddaughters that will probably pop up on that. There you are.
Check.
You're on.
Mr. Lynch, you're the man. Learned a lot from you. Yeah, there's not much to say other than we love you. We love everything you've done for us. You've taught us a lot of life lessons in the gym. Like you said earlier, taught us how to be a man in there, and they don't make them like you anymore. So we appreciate you, love you, and happy you're getting acknowledged for this.
Thank you. And then I guess, Tom, we're going to have to go to Thurman Dieter, so this ought to be unique.
How's my audio?
You're good.
Wonderful. Mr. Lynch, it is an honor to be able to stand up on this Zoom about 330 miles away and still be able to talk about the story of Lynch's Gym. Few people, I'd say, have established themselves as a true pillar of the community. I think when looking at today's society, it's ever evolving, and I think it's important that we're all taking a step back today to kind of marvel at the tradition that's been created by you. If those people today aren't aware of that tradition, I would recommend you go down to Walnut and Dunham down there and take a look at the walls, because the history is written all across them. When I think about days working out at the gym, going there just to hang out with Mr. Lynch, I think the reason everyone's on here today, the reason he's receiving the recognition he is not the training that he put on, but it's the way he treated people. Whether it's members at the gym, you could probably ask every mailman that's been on Walnut Street, and they know everything about him because he's the nicest guy ever. Or you talk to the kids in the community of working out at the gym, and you'll see Mr. Lynch stop in the middle of a workout where he's helping you out to go outside and give a couple of kids a few dollars to go down to the corner store to buy a few snacks for themselves. So I think looking at everyone today, it's a very prideful group. There's a reason that my daughter gets to wear a Lynch's gym shirt. I think there's a lot of meaning, not just the sentiment of being a healthy individual in this community, but it's what Lynch's gym really stands for, of what he's represented for. I don't know how many years old we want to get into it, but let's just say from the 80s on. Mr. Lynch has represented, I think, everything that South Bend wants its citizens to represent. So it's an honor to be on here today. There's a lot of pride that I think was taught not from a motivational speech, but through the unwritten, unspoken values that come out of Tom Lynch from just sitting back and watching him go out day to day in his community. So thank you.
I think there is, yeah. Say hello to our sixth granddaughter. Nice shirt. There you go. Thank you. I think Coach B, Rugner is on, ready to go. There you go.
Beautiful.
Mike, right there.
Am I on?
Yep.
All right. Hey, Tom, Marty, Lenny, Lancy, you guys are my adopted family. I I will tell you this, that if it wasn't for Tom and Marty, I don't know if I would have made it at Notre Dame. These guys brought me into their family every Sunday, had meals with them. Tom was a great training partner at Dave's gym, and this is way before he opened up the gym on Walnut Street. But I consider them true family. The Sunday meals and the playing that the kids gave me with worms and spiders and my potatoes. I remember that like it happened yesterday, and it was just the ability of them to take me in and be part of their family was just outstanding. It does not surprise me in the least that Tom is receiving this award. It should also go to Marty for all the stuff that she's had to put up with that guy. But I love him. I love that family. He's a Marine brother, and he is one of my closest friends of all time. So thank you, Tom. Thank you, Marty. And thank you, Lenny and Lancy, for making me part of this, of your family during that time period.
Is there anyone else online that would like to speak about Mr. Lynch?
Chris Wood.
Chris, what's up, dude?
How's it going? I'm sorry I couldn't be there, Tom. I really wanted to be there. But I told you last week that I couldn't. And let me just say one thing from that of humble Tom said, I remember this during that conversation, that it's okay, I'm not a hero. And I wanted to say something then, but it just wasn't the right time and place. But I'm going to tell you, I couldn't have done what I did without you. And it's not just the achievements of sports, but later on in life, the lessons you taught me have come back. So I'm telling you right now, you're a hero to the wrestling community. You're a hero to the country for serving, and you're a hero to me. And I know there's others just like me, probably right in that room, and you totally deserve this honor. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else online? Okay, before you want to say something quick and then I'll.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll get through this. So I first met Tom Lynch through Doug McGarris, and I thought he was supposed to be here, but back in that day, we used to lift at the Universal Slender Forum, whatever that thing was, and he said, do you want to learn how to lift? Absolutely. So I remember us squatting in his front yard, and I dumped like 95 pounds. I couldn't squat 95 pounds. So at the time, I think I was a strapping 170 pounds, 175. So he said, you need to come to the gym. And like Mr. Fireman said, when I saw Tom, I was scared to death. He was a wrestler. He was a heel. He was buffed. And I was scared to death of him. But what he did, if it wasn't for Tom Lynch, I wouldn't be here. Not at all. Because if you don't know, I'm a very aggressive person, and I was a very aggressive policeman. And for me, learning how to become much stronger than I started out with, undoubtedly, and other policemen and firemen too, that helped us all in our jobs. And it wasn't for Tom, of all the fights and all the stuff that we've been in through, I wouldn't be up here. So I thank you for that. It's, we counted the other, 2 days ago, there's 398 pictures in the gym. And it's not of Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever. There's a couple of Boris von Rushkin, good old school wrestling. But if you've never been there, stop in. He'll be sitting at the chair right to your right when you walk in. And it's unique to see all of these guys who have, when they were winning awards and trophies and traveling the country and picking up thousands of pounds that we used to do and all that kind of stuff. It's unique what Mr. Lynch instilled in us to have your mind know that you can pick up 500 pounds or you can quarter squat 800 pounds. What the mind does and what he worked that your body can do, you can do it. And everybody that's come here or spoken is in test, that's everybody, that's what Tom Lynch has done. He's done that his entire career, raised a great family. The great times that I've had, whether we're pushing a truck down the middle of the street or, and I did fib a little bit when springtime comes, when we have the rain barrel full on the roof, we don't stand out there with a bar of lava and he dumps the water on all of it. It's Lifebuoy soap, by the way. So all of that camaraderie, all the fun stuff that's going on, and it's a tribute to the officers who have perished, and Paul DeGucci's locker is still sealed there. Randy, the big Swede, pictures up on the wall, the things that we've done, and all the positive stuff that's been done that Tom alluded to with his stuff and everything else that everybody's talked about. And it's pretty unique. And if you ever saw the movie Brian's Song, there's a spot where Billy D. Williams, as Gail Sayers, is talking about an award he won and talking about Brian Piccolo. And Tom isn't sick or anything like that, but the words he said was, I love Brian Piccolo. Well, I love Tom Lynch. He's the best there is, the best that was, and the best that ever will be. And we're honored to give you an award that doesn't go out a lot. It's the Council Oak Award. As the mayor alluded, the key to the city is their highest award, and this is the highest award that the county can give to you. So thank you for, stop it, Mish. Thank you for everything you've done. First, we'll give him a standing ovation, a round of applause, and I want everybody to come up here for a picture. So Tom Lynch. them on your shoulder, Jimmy?
Like we always used to do.
All right, one right here. Look at this one.
Okay, we are.
Derek, wake up.
There we go. Okay. I sure.
Thank you, guys. You didn't pay for it yet.
You didn't get it. Yeah, beautiful.
Are you gonna stay for all the Warren County members? Where do you wanna go? I got a plaque for you too. Say it without crying, man.
There's not a whole lot of me I can squish. Is that all right?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep going.
Good job. We gotta, don't walk on us. Bye, sweetie. Can you get out there? Oh, come on, the only one down.
Come on, you win. Somebody else is writing it down. Thank you. Very good. There we go.
Hold on.
Ready?
Oh, for God's sakes.
You bring the cash, I'll take mine, you bring the.
Okay. Did you get a couple? Yeah, I did.
Oh, thank you so much.
Finish this up here.
You said you wanted to be out at 6:30.
I'll be there. Doors will be open. Jerry, are you still at the casino? Why don't you there anymore? What are you doing now? Then come on down.
Take care.
Let's get down, like you said, let's get down there. And make sure you-
Be there, 11 o'clock. Mission's coming, he wants to squat.
Right. I'll show you up.
I'm sorry I'm so late. I really thought we would be out of here 15 minutes ago. Forgot about that.
Thanks for everybody that's got business here tonight. We appreciate you sticking around.
Okay, the next item on the agenda are bills approved by the county council. There were 7 of them. I suggest that we approve them all in once. Do we have a motion to approve the bills from the county council?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item is reappointment to the Property Tax Assessment Board of Appeals. I'll open the floor for nominations.
About nomination Steve Weldy.
Need to close nominations?
Hearing no other, we will close the nominations. Do we have a motion to approve Steve Weldy, appointment to the Property Tax Board of Appeals?
Motion to approve him.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is appointment to the Property Tax Board of Appeals of Peter Mullen. I'll open the floor for nominations.
I'll nominate Peter Mullen.
Second.
Anyone else? Hearing none, close nominations. Do we have a motion to approve Peter Mullen's appointment to the Property Tax Assessment Board of Appeals?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you
Aye.
vote? Motion carries.
Oh, you guys, I have to leave now. I've been very active in my Mishawaka Tri Kappa. We have our meeting tonight, and we're helping our children, so I have to go to the meeting now, so I have to leave. I'm sorry. But I want everybody to have a happy Thanksgiving, okay? Best wishes to everybody. All right,
Thank
so
you.
I have to leave now because I have to get up to my meeting there, because I just love helping the children there that we're going to be helping. So yes, we've got stuff to help them. So I'm sorry, I have to leave, but it was longer than I thought, so thank you. Best wishes, take care.
Okay. Moving on to infrastructure planning and growth. First item is the consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is approval of the quote award for the Jackson Road landfill, the pneumatic blower replacement. Mr. Metters.
Good evening, Sky Metters, County Engineer, offices on the 7th and 11th floor, Department of Infrastructure Planning and Growth. What this item is out at the Jackson Road landfill. We have a building where we have two pneumatic blowers that help work out there with the methane extraction and so forth. One of those blowers has been down, and we need to replace that. Currently, everything's running fine with the one blower that's out there in the building, but if that was to go down, we'd have to do something else. So we requested quotations for this, and we received two quotes from DA Dodd and Michiana Contracting, Inc. And what we are requesting is that the project be awarded to DA Dodd, who was the low quote, in the amount of $14,100. Funds are available in existing accounts, and we request your recommendation. Happy to answer any questions.
Negative.
No questions? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Next, approval of the Ryan Kingston contract.
Carl, you don't have to stand, like,
Okay, I got you.
Oh.
I got you.
Bobby, you didn't say he could sit.
No.
Robert Krasinski, office on the 7th floor of this building. Mike, is it okay I speak about all three at the same time?
Please do.
Before you is renewal of 3 contracts with 3 employees that are on staff right now through the IPG office. Jennifer Hinthorn, Ryan Kingston, and Tiffany Schrock. They have done an amazing job in scanning all the surveyors' drains and old history drains and everything that's been involved in the surveyor's office, which John McNamara started in the late 21, I believe. And over 60,000 documents have been scanned on the portal, the GIS portal. Thanks to Sky's people in his office. And I believe Beverly is online too, and she could speak to some of that because she has spearheaded this campaign. But I'm just asking the commissioner's approval to extend their contract till the end of '24.
No questions, but being up on the 7th floor, we see how hard everybody works to get this done, and You and the team are to be commended.
Appreciate the comment. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, I also like to commend our surveyor for this. It's one of the many things that Carl and I have been trying to implement in county government of all the records that we have, and Bobby's been the lead of having this stuff put in a place where it's visible online, and all of the space and all these records that are stacking up, especially on that 7th floor of a maze of things like that. So I commend you for starting this, and hopefully we can do that in other departments.
Like I said, I can't take all the credit.
Well, I'm giving it to you, so you can take it.
But thank you.
So we need the motion for C, D, and E?
Should we do them individually?
It's better to approve them one at a time. but-
Okay, make approval of the Ryan Kingston contract?
I'll second that.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Approval of change order number 1 contract with Jennifer Henthorn?
If you're making a motion, I'll second that.
Okay,
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion
Make a
carries.
motion for approval of the Tiffany Schmack contract.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Good evening, Bill Shalio, Economic Development Director, part of the Department of Infrastructure, Planning and Growth with offices on the 7th and 11th floor. Before you is Amendment Number 1 for the Southwest Broadband Extension and State Road 4 Design and Engineering Project. This is a project that original contract was signed in 2022 with Lockmuller Group to design fiber conduit, is a fiber conduit project from the casino to North Liberty to Lakeville, and then North Liberty to Walkerton. The design has been done, and so what this contract is, it's a zero-sum contract amendment. As the contract was put together, there's several line items within the contract, and as Lockmuller did the work, they spent money against the contract, but the way they budget, they need to reappropriate money within their contract, so that's what this document does. It's basically just a reappropriation of funds within an existing contract. No funds will move because of that.
No additional.
No additional
cost.
funds, nope.
Okay. Any questions?
Negative.
Do we have a motion?
A motion to approve this amendment.
Second.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, approval of the termination and release of the location control survey.
So out in the IEC area, over a period of time back in 2019, the county worked with Lawson Fisher to establish a plan for right-of-way expansion, acquisition of right-of-way, and then also some coordination on potential utility and rail spurs within the IEC area. Smith Ready Mix was the first property at which we acquired a piece of easement, or a piece of property from them for an easement for a potential rail spur at the southern end of their property. Smith Ready Mix is located on Edison Road. As part of the recording of those documents, it recorded with it this location control and route survey. It's a multi-page document that really details this whole larger plan. Nobody really understands why that large document got attached to the easement agreement for the recording, but it did, and now it shows up on title for several other adjacent properties. As we're working with adjacent property owners to clean up some title issues, we need to remove and terminate and release this agreement, or terminate and release this document so that can be removed off the title work. And so there's a document before you today. It's just a termination agreement with your signature. It'll terminate and remove that. We can record this document, and then that document, this will supersede that prior document, and we'll take that information off the title. If there's any questions, I'll try to stumble my way through it.
You stumbled fine.
Oh, thank you
thus
very
far.
much. I appreciate it.
And this, as you said, there's no cost associated with
Nope.
this. We're just
cleaning up
terminating
title
it,
work.
cleaning it up. Any questions,
Good.
Commissioner? Do we have a motion to
Make a
approve?
motion to approve the termination and release of location control survey.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Boy, Mr. Shalio, you got down quick. Moving on to our assessor. First, approval of proposal from Farrington Appraisals. Online is our county assessor, Mike Castellan.
Mute, hold on. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
How are
Good
things in the
evening.
great state of Florida, Mr. Castellan?
Well, for the few times I get the opportunity to come down here, it's fabulous, Mr. Dieter. Good evening, Commissioners. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. Before you is a request for appraisals with Michelle Farrington Appraisals. This comes from a long-standing intergovernmental agreement that we have with the municipalities to provide financial support and to provide defense to appeals when those appeals could be costly to the county. So we're asking the council to act in conjunction with the standing agreement and approve this appraisal tonight. And I'll stand by for any questions.
Good.
The letter from Farrington explains it well. There being no questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve the agreement with Farrington Appraisals?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is request for approval of the service agreement for neighborhood delineation and land base rate analysis.
Okay, so before you is a request for the delineation and land-based rates. Last year, we did a comprehensive land study. And I believe one of the issues that we had with this land study is the delineation of the neighborhoods. So we need to make sure that we're actually making sure that the assessments are fair. The last time the neighborhoods were actually drawn out was in 1995. And so this goes in conjunction with the ARP funds that were already approved for us to do the commercial contract. And in order to complete that, we need to complete the delineation. The land-based rate is something that's now required by the state of Indiana every 4 years. So this is all covered under the ARP funds, and then eventually we'll cover the land study through the sales disclosure fund at no cost to the county. So all these requests already have funding, and we won't be asking for any appropriations. We're asking you to act in conjunction to allow us to ensure the fairness of the commercial properties in St. Joe County, and I'll stand by for any questions.
Good.
No questions. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the service agreement.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Mike.
What size shirt is that? Is that an XL?
Yeah, that's I got it from the Baby Gap, Dieter.
Okay, I'll get you a Roll Tide shirt.
Go Irish.
Under old business, we tabled the approval of change order number 1 for the PSAP facility interior remodeling. Do we have a motion to take that off the table?
Yeah. Motion to untable.
Second.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
I'm untabling it. I vote aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now it's your turn. We had to take it off the table.
We're just untabling it, dude. We didn't mean to throw you off.
So, Stephen Krimkowski with DLZ Indiana, Principal Office at 2211 East Jefferson, South Bend, Indiana. What this change order is basically refunding the final allowances that were remaining. So it's actually a credit to the overall contract in the amount of $3,133.50. There was a general construction allowance part of the overall project for unforeseen conditions that may arise since it was a renovation. This is the remaining amount, and it just cleans up the final dollar amount so the project can be closed out. So I'll entertain any questions you might have.
It was a very modest change order compared to the project itself, so
Yes.
good to see.
Yeah, it's a credit as well, which is always a good thing. So,
Now, I'd like to thank DLZ for their work. This is something that Bobby Kay and I started well over 2 years ago of expansion and making that a better working environment for everybody there. So I really appreciate the good work that you all have done for fixing that place up. Thank you.
welcome.
There being no other questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve change order number 1, PSAP facility interior remodel.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
I
Motion
got
carries.
one quick thing under old business. It's not that one, but it's another one. Probably 7, 8 months ago, some people came to the drainage board and addressed Surveyor Krasinski, myself, and the draining boards of issues with water and flooding and drainage over off of Mayflower Road. Brent Burkus and Chantel have been working tirelessly of trying to get people to look into that. So he couldn't make it tonight. He'll come back with an update at our next meeting, which will be December 3rd. But his message is item personnel will be coming to meet with us farmers to investigate the practices of what occurred. I will send you a date and time also. They received reply from the city, so there's an ongoing investigation, I believe, with the city and the practices of what the people have done out in the community, especially regarding the stuff coming from the ethanol plant, which transcends into water that goes west and probably out to Dan's neck of the woods out in New Carlisle. So once they get that information, they will report to us what IDEM has found. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Mish, did I make a mistake and overlook the consent agenda for IPG?
No.
You got it.
Didn't check it off, I was distracted. I do have two things under new business, if you will. Derek, you already alluded to it. There will be no meeting of the Board of Commissioners next week. Several of us will be attending the Indiana County Commissioners Conference next week, so we will meet again the following week. Second item is I would like to read a statement on behalf of Commissioner Dieter and myself. The St. Joseph County Board of Commissioners wishes to announce the retirement of Dr. Deborah Fleming, a dedicated public servant who has served our community with distinction. Dr. Fleming has informed the board of her intention to retire effective January 31st, 2024, after several years of exemplary service. In years past, Dr. Fleming has been an integral part of our community, offering her expertise and tireless dedication to the betterment of St. Joseph County. Her outstanding contributions have made a lasting impact, improving the lives of our residents and strengthening our local government. Throughout her career, Dr. Fleming has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to public service and has been a champion for transparency, accountability, and effective governance. Her leadership and visionary insights have played a significant role in shaping our community's policies and programs. We know that Dr. Fleming and her family are taking steps to help her as she deals with a difficult medical issue, and we support her in seeking the care and treatment she may need. We will keep her and her family in our prayers and would appreciate it if employees of St. Joseph County and the public would do the same. The Board of Commissioners invites the community to join us in expressing our appreciation for Dr. Fleming's years of dedicated service and to wish her a joyful and fulfilling retirement. So we appreciate her service. Thank you. We can,
Public comments.
moving on to public comments. Who wishes to be first?
Seriously, Dan?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Best gift ever.
Cynthia Heckman Davis, Walkerton, Indiana. Good evening, Commissioners. I want to introduce you to the Freedom Readers of St. Joseph County. Freedom Readers of St. Joseph County has the goal of promoting and protecting our community's right to read. Started less than a year ago, this group has been growing by leaps and bounds. We trust and support our community's county and school librarians in directing collection, development, and organization in accordance with the principles of the Library Bill of Rights and the Freedom to Read Statement of the American Library Association. We know that the Board of Commissioners has a library board appointment it can make soon. We want you to appoint or reappoint an individual who endorses these same principles. A public library's purpose is to offer a wide variety of ideas and perspectives, free from censorship, free from partisanship, and ideally apolitical. Another reason we come today is to ask you and the County Council to consider ways to restore the funding for our county libraries and schools that will be lost from the recent property tax cut passed by the County Council. Like other parts of our government, our county's public and school libraries are bound by the First Amendment. The First Amendment protects not only the right to speak, but the corollary rights to listen and to receive information. Our county has wonderful libraries. I'm on a first-name basis with my librarians, and I hope you are also. Commissioners, please protect our libraries. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to offer a comment? I thought Happy Thanksgiving was sufficient, Mr.
I
Caruso.
believe your time is up, right?
Dan Caruso, 305 Compton Street, New Carlisle. Again, happy Thanksgiving, Commissioners. I just wanted to recognize you for what you do with the citizen, the business, and the youth of the month, the recognition. As a Citizen of the Month recipient previously, it's nice to be recognized, to be a part of this community. And it was, I was happy, I was here tonight I did not grow up in this community. I'm from a different area of the country. I really knew nothing about Mr. Lynch, and it was great to sit here and listen to all he'd done for this community. And I just thank you for recognizing people that some of us don't know and telling us a little bit about them. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
See you there tomorrow at 11 for a workout. Okay?
Would anybody else in the audience care to offer a comment? Seeing nobody, we will go to those online. Mike, do you have your hand up?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm coming to you as not as the assessor, but as Mike Castellan, the citizen from St. Joseph County. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the commissioners for their leadership, and really I wanted to point out some of the spectacular things you guys have done over the last year. And one of the things that, and I'm going to point this really towards Commissioner Dieter. One of the things I noticed when I first came online was all three of your sons were on tonight, which is a testament to your, not only your mentorship, but your leadership. And the fact that you got them involved in county government is an example that I think all of us should take and really begin to dig into all the things that make St. Joseph County great. When I first met Mr. Dieter, I don't think I liked him, but over the last several months, I got to find out the great things that he's done over the years, and I think he deserves a round of applause, and I certainly appreciate for everything you've done for this county. Thank you, Mr. Dieter.
You're still getting an Alabama shirt, so nice try.
Darn it.
Thanks, dude.
Yep.
How fast was he going the first time you met him?
72. 72.
Not to pile on, but I do want to echo what Mike said. You started this when you were on the city council, and you brought
I
it
did
with
12
you.
years of awards on the city council, and it's pleasing to us to honor, we may disagree on stuff, but we honor people who are contributing immensely to the community. A lot of time, as y'all can see, the only people coming here tonight usually have stuff going. Dan and other people, they show up every single meeting, whether they want to criticize us, which is fine, or, bring up issues. And that's why I first met him when I was running at a meeting about the IEC, long time ago. But we really enjoy the interaction we get from everybody, whether, again, like I said, if you disagree with us, we have a lot of that. And whether you have issues, we're always here to try to help as much as possible. So this commissioner gig and elected officials, we've always tried to reach out to the community because we work for you. This isn't, we're doing this because we want to be better than anybody else. We're not. We're just, as they say, we're just trying to help. So we appreciate everything that everybody does. As a citizen, all of the people that work in our building daily, and our fine secretary, Emma, and John Crowater, and everybody else. So, no, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
And let's give a round of applause to Derek for starting this
Carl.
and keeping it. With that, do we have a motion to recess?
No. Yes, I make a motion to recess.
Second.
Mr. Dieter, how do you vote?
Vote aye.
And Mr. Baxmeyer?
Aye.
Where was?
Thank you, everybody.
I'll send those.
I got
Recording
a lot of
stopped.
order. Fun stuff. It was great.
Did you know she was gonna just